We are back from our little mini getaway. It wasn't really a vacation, but anywho, we're on laundry soap, so let's make some. I have my laundry soap tub. This is dedicated to laundry soap in itself. And then we have 1 baking soda, which is 4 pounds. And we get all of this at Walmart for about, is it $21? $21.14. We get all of this, okay? That includes the tax. I know that because it's the only things we purchased from Walmart today. I try not to get groceries from there, but the grocery store did not have these items, apparently. If I can get this open, that would be great. They're always difficult to open, but I guess I'm not complaining because I really would rather they not bust open in the car, you know. There we go. So 1 entire box of Arm & Hammer baking soda going in. And I will warn you, this gets a little dusty in the air, so... Okay. We'll recycle that. So, and it is. Woo, yeah. I think baking soda is no. Oh, I can taste it. It does not taste good. And then I do the Arm & Hammer washing soda, okay? This mixes really well with the baking soda. And this is, whew, y'all. When you're making this, either wear a mask or step away when you pour this in, because, wow, I can taste that. This is 3 pounds. So we had 4 pounds of the baking soda, 3 pounds of the baking wash. Oh, it says right on here laundry booster, so this is really good for your laundry. I don't do all that crazy stuff, okay? I don't shred bars of soap. I don't add a bunch of nonsense, okay? We use 3 things, and then we use a scent booster, okay? Now, eventually, I will get away and figure out a better alternative to my scent booster. So, for right now, it's what I use, and it works. Okay, so now this is going in. Whole box. Shake all that goodness out of there. Okay, there's that. And then 1 whole box of borax. This is 4 pounds. We got 4 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds. So, wait, right? So that's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pounds in this tub. So make sure you get a tub that holds more than 11 pounds worth of powder. You can turn this into a liquid. I have never done that. I don't find the need to do that. This is really concentrated this way, so you just sprinkle less, okay? If you add it and turn it into a liquid, then that changes the volume of things, of course, and how much you use. There we go. It's always so difficult to open. They use some really good glue in these boxes. But I leave mine as a powder. That's how I like it. I used to use liquid laundry detergent, and I never used the powder. And then I started making my own, like last year. So 1 whole box of borax in the tub. Ooh, that one's, I'm gonna step back. That one's a little dusty. I don't want to eat the stuff, okay? And then I give that a good mix. I actually usually mix in between each box if I remember, but most of the time I really don't remember. It's okay. You can get your hands in there and mix it. I have a Dollar Tree scoop. That's what I use. I use 1 scoop for a large load, okay? Use half a scoop for a small load. Or if you're just doing like, you know, something like a set of clothes that you absolutely needed, you know, just dip a little bit in there and dump it in there, okay? Now, with this, I will say, when you do bulky things like bedding, I usually typically sprinkle it in the bottom of my machine because the powder will get caught in those sheets and the bulky bedding, and it won't fully wash out. And I have an agitator in mine, so the powder, when it gets trapped in there, if my blanket does it, not always, but there has been times where there's a little bit of not really the powder, it's more so the beads actually that we kind of find stuck in the comforter. So then I use this. This is actually cheaper than any of the other beads that you will find, and it is paraben free, no heavy perfumes, and dye free. I love this because there's no dyes in it, okay? So this is Arm & Hammer. Love the Arm & Hammer. And this is 1.5 pounds, 24 ounces, okay? And I just dumped this whole thing in there. Again, eventually I will probably find an alternative, but these actually, if you can see, probably not, the little granules, like, they're tiny compared to those other scent beads that you get. They're big. So these actually do work better in the washer to break down, because we use cold water. We don't use hot water, okay? So that's why these don't like melt as easy. That's why they get caught in the bed stuff. So, okay, whole bottle of it. You just dump everything in here. You can't mess this up, okay? And that is the Crisp Clean scent. I love it. It works really well. I actually think I like it more than the other more expensive ones, to be honest. I've used this the last time that I made this, because I had never seen it before that. And it was like $3 cheaper, like a good amount cheaper. These other ones are like anywhere from $8 to $15 for the small scent bead. And like I said, eventually I will get away from these. So in here, what are the ingredients? I can't even. Oh, I'm like, I can't read that. That's Spanish. I've never seen Spanish ingredients. Okay. Sodium chloride. It does say fragrances. It does not list what the fragrances are. So just keep that in mind. Sodium bicarbonate, which is, ironically, baking soda. That's what this is. Sodium bicarbonate. Does it say it in the box? Pure baking soda. Yeah, sodium bicarbonate. I was like, where's the ingredients? It has to have ingredients. Literally, that's what this is. So there is some of this in here, okay? So it gives you a little extra boost. Maybe that's why I liked it better. I don't know. And then, where'd they go? Ingredients, so sodium chloride, fragrances, sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. And then, oh, it literally says it on there. And then calcium silicate. So, I don't know. I don't know how clean those ingredients are. I'm not going to lie. Again, I recycle all my things here, so don't worry about that. But they do say that they are HE compatible. So it's pretty much like any machine nowadays. So yeah, you just mix it all together. And then I've had this scoop for like years. I used it for other things. I get these for when I'm doing parties. And then I just kind of, once they get a little too used, I wash them, and then I put them in for these kinds of things. I actually just think I had this laying around and I had never used it. And I thought, wow, that's a good scoop.
What is it?
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
So yeah, just use the bigger of the two. Well, no, this might be, the scoops at the Dollar Tree come in 2 packs. At least they used to when I used to get them. I don't know. I haven't bought them in a long time. And I think this is the smaller of the 2 scoops. You can see on there, it is cloudy. So you really can't use it for anything else after this. Just keep that in mind. But I just keep it right in my container. And then I kind of shake it a little bit. And then I just gently shake it. Why are you on my counter? This cat thinks he's allowed to be on my... Get down. Get down. I will remove you. Excuse you. Get down. He's trying to jump down. Come here. I'm about knock the bottle over. Get down.
You're not going to the video.
Oh, I know. He thinks he wants to be on camera. They are not allowed on my counters. That is not okay.
How do you jump up there?
I don't know. He jumped pretty far to get up there.
Dang.
He's just seeing what I'm doing. But he's not supposed to be up here. So, anyway. That is that. That is all it is. 4 things, okay? $22 at Walmart, okay? For all these things. So, and then the tote I reuse. So, I got this at Walmart. It has a lid that keeps it even more fresh. And honestly, I got a kind of a bigger one because then if I ever wanted to do a double batch, I can. At Christmas time, I do. I mix a double batch in here, and then I give them as Christmas gifts. So that's why I have such a big tub. You don't need such a big tub, but like I said, it's got to have like, so just one of those smaller ones at Walmart would work too. Not the super small ones, but like the medium, I don't know, in between. And that's it. So like I said, you could turn it into a liquid detergent if you wanted, but I don't want to, so I don't. I have been using this method for probably 8 months or so. I don't know. Whenever I posted that first video, I guess that's when I started doing it. It's been a while. It hasn't been quite a year, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. Could be 6 months, could be 8 months, could be a year. I have no idea. But for a while, long enough, over 6 months, to know that I really like this. It holds up and it does... How many loads does this usually do? Well, I wonder if this tells me like how many loads on the box of super washing soda. For mustard and blood stains versus leading value detergents alone. Deodorizes, cleans, and brightens, which is why I add this. I'm looking to see if it tells me, like, you can use it for other things too, but pots and pans. You can scour on a damp sponge. You just sprinkle some on a damp sponge and let it sit for 30 minutes and wash it out. Do not use on aluminum. Good to know. They do give you on the Arm & Hammer website a detergent DIY. It says right here. So, you probably can't see that. It says go to armandhammer.com/DIY-detergent and try their recipe. So, interesting. I almost want to look it up and see what it says. But there's all kinds of things you can use this and the Arm & Hammer baking soda and the borax for. Cleaning wise, this is not just your only thing. I don't use it for anything. I do use baking soda for a lot of things, but I don't use the laundry booster. Now, I have pretty much always used the insect boosters, so that's just something I've always done. Even when I used the other store-bought liquid detergent. But anyways, if you have any comments, any questions, good Lord, leave them in the comments. But yeah, so that's as easy as that is. Thanks for watching.